It is important to have a good start when playing Duel Links for the first time, because unlike other games like Master Duel, it is quite difficult to get the cards you want, so you must plan ahead before you start spending your gems or money. This guide will hopefully give you some advice on the best way to start a Duel Links account. Firstly, you will be asked to choose your starter character. My advice is to always choose Yugi, because he has an overpowered skill called Destiny Draw, which allows you to draw whatever card you want if you take enough damage. Don't worry about Kaiba too much, you will soon get him anyway by completing stage missions. Once you're in the game, there are some settings that should be changed immediately. Change the power usage to maximum to reduce lag, and turn on the toggle button. The toggle button will be useful in some more advanced gameplay, so don't worry about it too much for now. Personally, I like to change the view angle and disable dialogues, but that's up to your own preference. After some tutorials, you will unlock the starter deck of your starter character. That deck is utter garbage and won't get you anywhere, so you should go get yourself a better deck. This is when you should think about the decks that you like to play. I always emphasize that playing Duel Links is all about fun, so don't let anyone stop you from building your favorite deck, no matter how bad your deck may look like. For example, scraps are one of my favorite decks. Even though they are quite terrible in Duel Links, I built a scrap deck anyway just to have fun. No matter what deck you choose, it's important to set a goal for yourself and stick to building 1 or 2 decks, because if you don't have a clear goal, you'll find yourself spending all your gems for nothing. Usually I recommend any new player to buy the Red Eyes structure deck once. It is a structure deck, so you are guaranteed to get the cards that are featured inside. It only costs 500 gems, and buying a single Red Eyes structure deck is enough to give you a viable Red Eyes deck. You should also use your free card tickets to get more Red Eyes cards, specifically Red Eyes Insight and Red Eyes Spirit. You should be able to make a deck like this day one, and it is already a million times better than the starter deck that the game gives you. While you are grinding gems to complete the deck you like, you can use your Red Eyes deck to complete missions or farm cards, or even win some games in ranked. What you do next greatly depends on how you want to play the game. I will cover methods for both free-to-play and pay-to-win players, so feel free to skip ahead to the method that best suits you. For free-to-play players, gems are a valuable resource that is very hard to get late game, so spend them only in decks that you like. If you can't pick a favorite deck, I suggest following the rock route, which is a collection of 3 mini boxes that features a lot of rock-type monsters. By following the rock route, you can complete multiple decks at a relatively cheap price, which includes Magnet Warriors and Ritual Beasts, 2 competitively viable decks that still see competitive play even to this day. There are also other routes you can take depending on your preference, like the zombie route and the photon route. I will explain them in this video, so just choose the one you like most and stick with it. The rock route features 3 mini boxes, Guardians of Rock, Arena of Sanctuary, and Spirit of the Beast. Which box to start with completely depends on what deck you want to build first, but if you don't have a preference, I suggest starting with the Guardians of Rock box to get the Triamid and Magnet Warrior support, then getting Arena of Sanctuary next. By buying these boxes, you get a complete Magnet Warrior, Triamid, Valkyrie, and Ritual Beast along with a few other archetype supports and some staples. One of the best cards you can get from this route is Karma Cut, a strong trap that banishes a monster your opponent controls. Super Team Buddy Force Unite revives basically any monster in your graveyard, which is also quite useful. Magnet Warrior and Triamid are decks that are quite good in ranked. So if you want a variety of cheap decks that are also competitive, this route is the route for you. The zombie route features 4 mini boxes, Empire of Scarlet, Curse of Dread, Soul of Resurrection, and Flames of the Heart. You'll also need a few packs from the Generation Next main box to get 3 copies of Samurai Skull. Again, you can start from any of the 4 boxes depending on what you like. But I personally prefer starting from the Soul of Resurrection box because it has a powerful staple trap, Reigeki Break. By taking this route, you'll be able to build a complete deck for Vampire, Vendread, Shiranui, Mayakashi, Goki, Evil Saw, and Venom, while getting support for Insector, Fabled, Assault Mode, and Resonator. This route is less competitive than the Rock route, but if you really like zombie-themed decks and don't care about being competitive, you can consider choosing this route. The Photon route is a route with a lot of Xyz monsters, so if you like those cool-looking black cards, you might consider following this route. It has both mini boxes and main boxes, including Photon of Galaxy, Shining Hope, and Infinite Ray. Notable decks you can get from this route are Photon and Sattel Arknight. I also recommend buying a single copy of the Sattel Arknight Advent Structure deck to get more Sattel Arknight support. The most competitive route is perhaps the Harpy route. You start from the Sign of Harpies box to get all the Harpy support, which is already enough to make a functional Harpy deck. Then you move on to the Chaotic Soldiers box to get the best staple card in the entire game, Book of Moon, along with a whole bunch of archetype support like Necros, Sylvan, Blackluster Soldier, Ignite, Prediction Princess, and that one powerful Red Eyes fusion monster. Normally I don't suggest buying a box for a singular staple, but there are so many other archetype support in the Chaotic Soldiers box which makes it worth. After buying Chaotic Soldiers, you can go whatever direction you want. You can get even more staples like Mystical Space Typhoon by buying the Antonomic Theory box, or complete an archetype that you got from Chaotic Soldiers, like getting more Necros support from the Maximum Gustav box. For pay-to-win players, some structure decks are extremely valuable when you buy 3 copies of them. They are relatively cheap and you are guaranteed to get what you want. The most competitive structure deck is the Gaia structure deck. You can build a complete Gaia deck that is competitive, with only 3 copies of the structure deck and nothing else. The Sattel Arknight, Blue Eyes, and Noble Knight structure deck are also great choices. You'll need a few cards from a card box to complete your deck, but they are still very cheap overall. The Red Eyes structure deck along with a few extra cards from boxes is also good enough to get you to King of Games. If there is a selection box sale going on, it's also a good idea to get a few packs of them if you're a new player. The Selection Box 4 and Mini Selection Box 2 are the best choices in my opinion. They have good staples as well as good archetype support. There are also special bundles that are obtainable with money that gives you a few card packs as well as a strong staple card. Apart from the Mirror Wall, Super Rush, and the Sanju and Sonic Bird bundle, all of the rest are really good and you might consider buying them. Here are some general tips for new players. Firstly, duel the standard duelists whenever you can. They can be defeated very easily by auto-dueling, and give you a lot of experience. Set the modifier to 3 to minimize the time spent on them. Second of all, watch your duel replay every day to get 5 free gems. It's not a lot but it will stack up eventually. There are also some secret locations in the map that have a chance to give you gems when you tap on it, so don't forget to tap them once in a while. Doing all of the duel quizzes not only give you gems, it also helps you learn about how to play the game. If you plan to buy a lot of card packs at once, don't forget to change your purchase settings to make the boxes automatically reset after all super rare and ultra rare cards are drawn from the box. Many events in Duel Links require you to duel special characters from the gate to earn rewards, so it's a good idea to make a farm deck. Here is a farm deck using the Red Eyes structure deck along with some other random cards. Anyway, that's it for my beginner's guide for Duel Links. Playing Duel Links is all about fun, so don't let anyone stop you from building your favorite deck, no matter how you play the game. Just remember to have fun and do what you enjoy the most. Don't play ranked if you don't like to play competitively. Don't play events that you think are extremely boring. Don't force yourself to do things that you hate just for a small number of rewards. Thank you for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.